Hi everyone, and welcome to Advice to Think Twice. This is Monica and I'm doing our week ahead readings. Thank you for joining me. So this will be for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I'm doing timestamps. As always, keep an open mind, take what resonates, disregard the rest. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't, and thank you if you have. And we're just going to jump in here, see what we have. I'm using the Muse Tarot deck and the Le Vampire Oracle. Okay, so be sure to watch all your signs if I haven't said that already. Your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. You can check out any other week ahead reading on the channel because they're timeless, okay? You also have your monthlies posted. Lots to check out if you're interested. And information about private readings is always in the description box below. Alright, so let's look at Cancer 104 roughly. What is going on for Cancer in the week ahead? What's Cancer dealing with in the week ahead? What they need to know. Okay, so we have the Ten of Pentacles in your situation, the Hierophant as the challenge, and in the outcome, the Three of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, this is talking about commitment issues or fear around family, okay? So this could be a pregnancy happening for some of you, and that's what sparks this. Or it's just the fact that you have the potential, the opportunity for a long-term commitment on the table. This depends on what level you're at. For some, this is someone asking you to move in together. For others, this is a proposal. For others, this is talking about children, having children, or it's an actual pregnancy happening. Could also be some sort of feeling some sort of family pressure because we do have the Hierophant as your challenge. So even though you have this beautiful Ten of Pentacles in your situation, you see it as a bit of a challenge because there's some fear around commitment. There's some fear around starting a family. There's some fear around being a parent, or just commitment issues in general, any other kind, okay? And there could be some pressure from family or pressure from society or tradition, okay? In the outcome, we do have the Three of Cups. So there is some sort of a celebration. Celebration, family coming together. But I feel like for some of you, this feels like it's happening without your say-so. It feels like you're being swept away. Because everyone's excited. The family's excited about a marriage, a moving in together, a pregnancy. Everyone's celebrating. But this is how you feel. Eight of Swords. You don't know how you feel about this. You feel a little bit stuck. You're not sure if you should say anything. You're not sure if you should say, you know, you need more time, or maybe this isn't for you, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like for the most part, you're just letting it happen. You're going with it because everyone's just so excited, right? Everyone's just so happy. So again, environmental pressure, right? People around you kind of pressuring you. Or just the fact that they're so excited about it makes you feel like you shouldn't say anything, you know, but deep down you feel like you're not ready for this, or you just don't want this, okay? Does that make sense? So let's put some clarifiers. Eight of Wands, yeah, Eight of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles. Things are moving very fast towards a commitment. The Hierophant with the Seven of Wands, you would rather say no to this. I feel like this is not something you want. Someone's pushing you, or you feel pushed towards a commitment, towards starting a family, towards making some sort of a long-term investment. You're feeling pushed from behind. You're feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit like your hands are tied when it comes to this because everyone else is so excited about it, because everyone else is telling you this is amazing, because everyone else has already started celebrating. Does that make sense? The Three of Cups in the outcome. We have the King of the Swords, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. But this could also be, it's asking you to speak your mind. It's asking you to speak your truth. I feel like for the most part, because the King of Swords can also be some sort of a contract, putting something down on paper, putting it down in writing, whether it's, you know, a contract because you're buying or selling a house, or some sort of official commitment when it comes to marriage or anything like that, or This could also be, you know, seeing the doctor to confirm a pregnancy or something like that, okay? So I feel like for the most part, it's good stuff that's happening, Cancer, okay? Your challenge is that you're feeling rushed, you're feeling pushed. You don't know how you feel about what's going on. You haven't made up your own mind about it yet, but everyone else is just kind of, yeah, this is amazing. Of course this is amazing. What do you mean? I feel like you're going to let it play out. I feel like you're going to get there. You just need to go through your own process. By all means, if this is something happening that you absolutely don't want to have happen, this is telling you to speak your mind, okay? To speak your mind, because people around you want you to be happy, and they will support you even though what you want maybe isn't what they want for you. Does that make sense? So it's just asking you to be true to yourself. But for others of you, I feel like it's more a case of it's just fear holding you back, or past trauma. And you're still going through the motions as you're processing that fear, or as you're processing that trauma, but you're still going through the motions of this next level or celebration, whatever this is, okay? And eventually you do get to a point where you're completely happy with what is happening, okay? Page of Wands, yeah, some very good news, proposal energy, good news about children, good news about a move, an offer, an invitation, and again, it's happening very fast. Hierophant, Seven of Wands, yeah, and the Tower is a challenge. It would mean a very big shift in your life. So if it's moving, I mean, that's a big shift. If it's moving overseas, that's even a bigger shift. If it's marriage and you've never been married before, you don't know how you feel about it, or maybe your family doesn't have the best track record, and so you have associated fear with that. It's a big shift, okay? It's something groundbreaking for you. It's something you've never been in a position to do before. Children, not to mention children, right? That completely changes your life. And even if it's about work, business, or your career, again, there's an offer, there's an opportunity that's it's amazing. They give you money, they give you a place to stay, they give you perks. Your challenge is leaving your family, right? Or your challenge is, okay, how am I going to balance this out? Because, you know, maybe, well, it's your other commitments with the Hierophant, right? And you're like, I need more time to think, but everyone's telling you this is amazing, or they're telling you, well, this isn't going to be on the table for very long, just trust your gut and go with it, right? Type energy. But it's something where it's a very big shift, okay? And you're seeing that as a challenge because you have fear around change, okay? Three of Cups with the King of Swords in the outcome, the Page of Swords. Yeah, so for some of you, this is definitely a contract, signing a contract, whether that's selling a house, buying a house, signing the work contract, some sort of what is it? You need a marriage license type thing, or this is where you just inform everyone that this is happening, right? Your community with that Three of Cups there, your extended community maybe. I mean, ultimately, yeah, Death card and the Other Swords, you have a fear of change, Cancer, and whatever's happening, you have this amazing opportunity coming in that's big. Okay, it's very big. So it becomes about you figuring out where your hesitation is coming from. If it's coming from a genuine place of you feeling like you don't want this, okay, and it's your intuition talking to you, it's not your fear, right? Then you have to speak up and be true to yourself, okay? And if it means pulling away from something or someone, then that's what you have to do. You have to be true to yourself, okay? But you have to put an end to something. It's either or. If on the other hand, you kind of feel excited about this, you kind of feel hopeful about it, it kind of makes you happy, but there's something there that's holding you back. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it makes you anxious when you think about it, right? That could just be an energy of fear of commitment, fear of change, and then that becomes about you figuring out what you want to do with that. Do you give yourself more time? Is that an option? Do you give yourself more time to process the situation and come to your own conclusions? Do you trust your initial gut feeling where it says, yeah, go for it? Do you trust the people around you and just, go for it and give it a chance? It'll be a little bit different for everyone, but whatever is going on, there's an offer on the table that will take one area of your life, or several, to the next level, okay? It will be a very big change. And for some of you, like I say, you're going to have to figure out if this is something you truly want. If your intuition is telling you that this isn't for you, you don't really want this, and that's what's causing your hesitation, or if your hesitation is coming from a place of fear of past trauma, and it's just a matter of you trying to process that, make peace with that, and embrace this opportunity wholeheartedly, okay? So let's see, advice for Cancer for the week ahead. Advice for Cancer. Okay, so we have 2 cards, they say. Advice for Cancer in the week ahead. I think that's 2. Bottom of the deck, we have Enlightenment, Inspiration, Epiphany, and Innovation. So, yeah, this is about your intuition. Your intuition is going to speak to you. It's either going to show you a trauma and a fear that you have to work through, or it will either show you that this isn't for you. Whatever's going on, even though it's amazing, it's not for you. It's not what you want. In which case, it becomes about you speaking up, okay, and being true to yourself. So we have prey, stalked, invaded, watched. So this is kind of like the 8 of Swords energy, where you're feeling a little bit under attack. You're feeling a little bit pressured to do something, right? And hunter, aggressor, tracker, and provider. I mean, the hunter and the prey with enlightenment. For some of you, there's some unhealthy relationship patterns that are being highlighted for you to address. For some, I do feel like it's not necessarily that someone is intending to hurt you. I feel like it's a dynamic of one who is more strong-willed or more focused and determined. They know exactly what they want. They go for it, more like a fire sign, for example. And the other is a little bit more passive, a little bit more quiet, maybe takes more time to make up their mind, takes more time to make up their decisions. And when these two are put together, there is going to be tension because they move at different speeds. And so the more determined one, let's say, the more fired up one, is always going to kind of push the other. Come on, what's taking so long, right? And so the other is going to feel pressured and not heard or disrespected because they're not given the time for them to make up their own mind. Does that make sense? They're just kind of expected to follow, or they're just kind of expected to just do what this other person says because they seem to be more determined about it. Does that make sense? And this could be a dynamic within a relationship. This could be a dynamic that you've learned in family or in your upbringing. And you find yourself in a situation where you have the opportunity to break the pattern. So either you continue the pattern and you just go with it, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a wave, whether it's coming from another person or your family or society or a group of people, whatever, right? Everyone thinks it's amazing. You don't feel like it is, right? You haven't made up your mind how you feel about it, but you think you deserve that time to figure it out, right? But you're feeling pressured and pushed into something that you don't know yet if it's for you or not. Okay, so that is coming from this kind of pattern that you find yourself in. And again, your advice, enlightenment, is to trust what is being revealed to you about yourself, okay? And about the situation or about the patterns you find yourself in. It's time to break the pattern, okay? It's time to speak up and speak the truth. And it's a case of the people that stick around will respect you more for speaking your truth and will support your decision because they will respect you enough to recognize that it is your decision and it's not about what they think, or it's not about strength. This isn't a case of strength in numbers, right? This isn't a case of if everyone thinks it's a good idea, you should also think it's a good idea, end of story, okay? So I feel like it'll be different for everyone, but again, it's going to be up to you, Cancer, to make the distinction. Is it your intuition trying to tell you something about yourself? Or is it just fear? Okay? Is it just fear of change or fear of commitment? All right? So either way, you're going to have some things to address. But this week, you will have something brought to the surface, okay, that has to do with this dynamic you feeling like you have to go with the flow, or you have to go with everyone else, or you don't have enough time to make up your own mind. You just have to kind of do what you're told, or you have to do what you were taught to do. Okay, there is this dynamic of what is your opinion, your feelings, okay, you as an individual versus family, group, who you are in a relationship. Okay, because this needs to be your decision, Cancer, okay? Whether you take an opportunity or not, or whether you allow something to play out or not, it could be the most amazing thing in the world. If it's not for you and it's not what you want, you should be able to speak your truth about it, okay? And everyone's just going to have to respect your decision, because this is about you at the end of the day, Cancer, okay? I feel like other people might be making it about them, like in the case of a wedding I'm seeing, right? And everyone's so excited. Oh, Cancer has someone and this is an amazing person, because they're looking from the outside looking in, and they were also maybe brought up, there's a pattern there to say you have to grow up, get married, have a family, and that's what you do in this family. But for you, you don't see it that way, right? So I'm seeing some friction there where you're gonna have to speak up, whether it's about, no, I need more time, or it's about, actually I've decided this isn't for me, okay? Or the conclusion that, you know what, yeah, okay, this is for me, I just needed some time to wrap my head around it. It'll be different for everyone. But you have to be true to yourself. This is a time for you to consult yourself, not everyone else, okay? Because you have an opportunity to break a pattern and to get your power back, if this makes sense to you, okay? For those of you, I'm seeing a pregnancy, and it becomes about you coming to terms with, this is my new life, this is my new normal. You have choices with that. I'm going to leave it at that. But, right, for most of you, I'm seeing this seen as a beautiful blessing. You just weren't ready for it, okay? And it brings up some trauma around maybe what you saw in family or society around marriage or around family, etc. But then it becomes again about you bringing it back to yourself, and it's not about what others have done before you, and it's not about what others are doing now. This is your choice, your life, your decision. You will do what you think is best, okay? And it's time to take the pressure off, all right? So it's time to take the pressure off. Stop comparing yourself to others and stop allowing others to push you. They may have the best intentions, but that's not what it's about, okay? If they really love you and respect you and want you to be happy, that means they may suggest things, but they will wait and respect your decision. They will wait for and respect your decision, okay? And if that's not the case, maybe you need different people in your life, okay? That will be the case for some of you. Okay, interesting reading. Okay, so let's go to Scorpio 1813. Let's see what we have. For Scorpio, what's going on for Scorpio in the week ahead? What is coming up for Scorpio? Hi, Scorpio. Thank you for joining us. As always, remember to also watch the intro, because there's some information for you there as well. What's coming up for Scorpio in the week ahead? Okay. Some start and stop energy, some changing minds energy. Going on for Scorpio. Situation is the Seven of Pentacles. Challenge is the Four of Swords. Outcome is the Four of Wands. So I feel like you're waiting for something, and it's been a waiting game. Justice at the bottom of the deck, but it is coming through, and it is what you wanted and what you deserve, okay? So especially if it's a legal case or anything to do with paperwork, contracts, government decisions having to come from some form of authority, contracts, paperwork, anything like that, house sales, house purchases, moving, travel, again, anything to do with documentation. You've been waiting with the Seven of Materials or the Seven of Pentacles. You've been waiting. You've invested a lot into this, so you don't really want to walk away, but it is starting to get frustrating because the challenge is the Four of Swords, because you're not seeing anything happening, okay? And there might have been delays where they're told you, oh, it'll be another couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks pass, and they're like, well, it'll be another couple of weeks, and another couple of weeks. And it has been a frustrating situation. However, in the end, you do have a very beautiful outcome with the Four of Wands. This is celebration. This is getting the contract, getting the job, getting the home, being able to travel to see family. This could also be some sort of a reunion. Getting what you want in terms of a commitment, okay? Getting the decision you wanted, also coming up. And for those of you, I feel like this is where you took time, or someone else took time, take it as it resonates, to decide what they want to do in terms of moving in together or in terms of marriage, okay? So let's clarify for Scorpio in the week ahead. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, the Hanged Muse, the Hanged Man. This has been up in the air for a while, okay? This is someone being undecided, whether you or someone else. Four of Swords in your challenge with the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I mean, this is where postponement after postponement after postponement. This is also frustration, because you want things to move on, to move quickly. But actually, in reality, the Four of Swords, nothing's happening, nothing's moving. Okay? This could also be frustration. You've had to take a time out because of an injury, or because of anything health related. You've had to take a time out. You've had to take time away. And you're starting to get your power back, your strength back. And now you're like rearing to go, right? Does that make sense? And this is you going back into the world, getting back to that job, getting back to life. You know what I mean? Four of Wands. Yeah, the Three of Wands. Travel. Travel to some sort of a reunion. Travel for some sort of a reconciliation. Traveling in terms of going to a new job, going back to a job. Okay, this could also be coming out of a time of searching for a job or searching for a place to live, and it finally comes through. Okay? When it does come through, it will be like on a moment's notice. So you're going to have to pick up and go with the Eight of Wands. So be on your toes. But there is travel, there is movement to the new job, to the home, to the reunion or gathering or event, whatever this is. Getting back out there, getting back to the team. If this has been like a long distance thing, this is where you're allowed or you're able to travel to be together, or to travel because you're moving, they're moving, or you're meeting in the middle type situation. After a time of waiting, after a time of a lot of online communication. Okay. And one more. Seven of Pentacles with the Hangman. Yeah, the Lovers. For some of you, it is about commitments. It's about a romantic relationship. For others, this is about your work commitments. Or it's about something that you view as a really big, like a life-changing type of commitment. So whether it's changing your career or changing your job, but you also have to relocate for it. It's a very big change. Okay. It's also about choice and choices. Okay. So for some of you, you had to make this choice. You were waiting for this choice to be made. Okay. Type energy. Or it's about a contract you've been waiting for it to come through. Four of Swords with the Eight of Wands is the challenge. Queen of Wands. So for some of you who are waiting on a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, for them to make up their mind or for them to take action. Or this again just talks about distance as a challenge. Travel was a challenge. Could also be next to the Lovers. The Queen of Wands can talk about the other person. So if there has been another person involved or another party doesn't always have to be another person, right? It's where you have two choices and there's three parties involved, because one of them has to make the choice between the two other options, right? So that could be with job, that could be with where to live, that could be with who to put first on your priority list, your family commitments or your romantic commitments, or etc., right? And so this could be where there's a wait time for someone else to make up their mind as to who they're going to put first, okay, or how they're going to prioritize things. The Three of Wands with the Four of Wands in the outcome, yeah, Judgment. So here's that decision with the Lovers that you were hoping to hear. That's exactly what's coming through. And with the Justice card at the bottom of the deck, here it is, right? And it's big and it's bold and it's official. Everybody knows. Everyone's been made aware, okay? And it's a new phase in your life, I also feel. It's a new phase in your life. Could be divorce related for some of you and you're finally free. or it's finally settled, everything's finally settled, and you got the house that you wanted, or you got what you wanted out of it. Or flip it with the Justice card, could also be marriage, okay? And maybe someone didn't know how they felt about it, someone needed time to figure out, someone needed time to sort out their priorities, okay? Maybe you gave someone an ultimatum and you were waiting to see what they do with it, type energy. Whatever start and stop energy to do with job, to do with career or your business. Maybe you weren't fully focused in one direction, maybe you were undecided, and so that's why it's almost like nothing really flourished. Everything was kind of okay, but nothing really flourished for you because you had split focus. And this is a time of you taking time for yourself, maybe doing some spiritual work to get some inspiration, and you're now like full focus. You know what you want and you're full speed ahead, right? And you're going to pursue some sort of a life purpose situation, okay? So some big realizations here for you, Scorpio, like awakening energy. Finally you see clearly, finally you have that decision, finally you're free from that situation and you're free to move forward with full speed ahead if you have been split too many ways. Finally getting on the same page with someone else. Maybe they had split focus, maybe they weren't fully committed, or whatever the case may be. And now everyone can do their part and everyone can just be on the same page, work towards the same goal. Does that make sense? Big changes are possible with career or your own business. Okay, one more. Okay, ask and you shall receive. Bottom of the deck, we have outsider. Yeah, misfit, loner, wanderer. This is a situation where you have been feeling like an outsider. For some, it is to do with romantic relationships or partnerships of any kind with 22 there. But you've been feeling like an outsider because you were waiting for someone else's decision. You were waiting for someone else's official communication or someone else to make up their mind. And you've been feeling like an outsider because you didn't have control over the situation. You just had to wait, right? You just had to wait and be patient. Wait for the answers, wait for the decision, wait for the communication, wait for restrictions to lift, whatever the case may be. And you've been feeling like an outsider, right? We have burnt by the sun, ambition, extension, reach. So yeah, this is like ambition. You're finally getting your ambition back. You're getting your strength back. I'm getting that very strongly for a lot of you. Okay, you're getting your strength back. If this has been a physical thing, you're getting your strength back, and your focus and your determination. For those of you, this is just you getting clear focus or someone else getting clear focus and the excitement and the ambition that comes with it, okay? And faith. And it came out, I saw it in the reverse. So we have trust, unwavering, and confidence. So something that you were starting to lose faith about because it was taking so long, okay? And you were starting to contemplate with the Lover's energy, do I just walk away and let this go? Because maybe it's just not meant to be. Your faith is restored. Your faith is paying off. Four of Swords energy, right? With the faith energy is telling you during this time of waiting, you tried to stay positive. You tried to do what you could. You tried to stay focused on productive things. You tried to keep your, the hope up, the faith up. And your faith is going to be rewarded, right? That's the energy that I'm seeing here. So, I mean, it's kind of clear cut and to the point for you, Scorpio. If you're the one that's got split focus, this is telling you everything has been slow and everything has been difficult and start-stop energy because you kept changing your mind, because you weren't decided, because you weren't focused. And whatever pause has happened that was imposed, so I don't know if something happened where you physically had to take time off, or something happened where there was restrictions, there was not a lot else you could do except spend time with yourself, right? Or whatever the case may be, that is helping you get your focus back, right? And get determined about what it is that you want. For some of you, I do see a choice between, do I walk my own path, right? Like soul purpose type energy here. Or do I continue on the path that I've been on, because I feel very drawn to this. I just don't know if I have capacity. I don't know if I have the strength. I don't know if I'll have the money. Right? So for some of you, this is about starting your own business and walk your own path. For others, this is about walking away from one job and embracing a new one without overthinking it, because it's closer to what you really want to do, or it's exactly what you truly want to do. But it may involve a change of career, right? And it's about not thinking about what everyone else is going to say, not putting that kind of pressure on yourself, and just making it about you, your focus, your dedication. Okay? Yeah, I mean, bottom line, it will be different for everyone, different scenarios for everyone. So if I haven't spoken about your specific scenario, doesn't mean that's not what it is. You take as the energy makes sense to you. That's how you take the message. But whatever this is that you have been waiting for and trying to stay positive and trying to make the best you can, as you were waiting, it's going to reward you. It's going to pay off. Okay? For others of you where you have been causing the delays, whether you were aware of it or it was subconscious because you were undecided or unfocused or trying to do too much all at the same time, then that time of waiting or that time of pause will reveal to you where your focus is and where your heart is, where your dedication is, right? Where your happiness will come from, right? It's the type of situation where you do what you love so it doesn't feel like work, right? For example. Or big choices in terms of commitment, or being released from a commitment, right? And you felt like you have been stuck and you haven't been able to invest in one thing or another until this divorce was final or until this dispute was settled, right? And that's finally done. It's finally over and you're free from that circumstance, right? And you know exactly what you want to do moving forward because you've just been waiting to be able to do so. But that kind of passion is just built up to the point where you're just raring to go now, okay? And so you can make some amazing things happen by letting that passion out now, okay? I mean, it's a really nice reading, Scorpio. I don't know what you've been doing, but it's working. Okay, so now let's look at Pisces 3208 roughly. Hi Pisces, thank you for joining us. As always, remember to also check the intro to the video because there's some information for you there as well. Okay, so let's look at Pisces for the week ahead. What is going on for Pisces? Pisces in the week ahead. Pisces in the week ahead. Pisces in the week ahead. Okay. Seven of Wands. Judgment as your challenge. The Knight of Wands as the outcome. So I feel like for some of you this feels like something you've been blocking for whatever reason, usually fear. You have an awakening around that. So maybe you're realizing there was just fear holding you back. Maybe you're realizing, I don't know, what the blockage was in the first place. This could also be you weren't blocking something, someone else was blocking something. And here comes the answer as to why. And in the outcome, that it's like full speed ahead, right? You go from the 7 to the Knight right away. So things start to happen very quickly. This could be job change. This could be travel. This could be relocation. This could be renewed passion within a dynamic or new passion coming to your life, right? What do we have at the bottom of the bottom of the deck? We have the Two of Cups. So there have been blockages. This is partnership energy, emotional in nature usually, so it can be romantic for a lot of you, but doesn't necessarily have to be. It talks about a fair partnership, a true partnership, right? But there have been blockages with the Two of Cups and the Judgment card. I feel like for some of you this talks about a time of separation. How long it was, I don't know. It'll be different for everyone. But there's been a time of separation, and you were in each other, like you were in your corner, they were in their corner, and blocking each other or trying to keep each other at a distance. Or this was one of you trying to block this, okay, or trying to block a reconciliation from happening, or trying to prevent communication so that you don't have to think about this person. You've been trying to run away from the person or them from you. And I feel like here comes that communication with the Judgment energy. This could be where someone is just putting it all on the table. Someone's completely honest. They might even tell you, I've tried to walk away, I've tried to block you, I've tried to not think about you. It's a little bit dramatic, but that's how it's coming through. And here they are, and they're like, I'm ready to be open and honest about this. I'm not going to fight my feelings anymore. What do you think about this and that and the other? And I feel like there could be, again, a reconciliation, renewed passion. You could be traveling to meet this person, or they're traveling to come tell you this in person. And things are picking up speed, okay? It's not necessarily picking up where you left off, because this is a lot of new energy, okay? There's been a lot of lessons learned here with the Judgment card here as well, and with this being inspiration energy, right? There have been a lot of lessons learned in your time apart, and they're eager to tell you, right? Or you're eager to tell them. So reconciliations could be happening at this time. If that's something that you want, if that's not something that's in your energy or in your thoughts, then this isn't a message for you, okay? Don't try to force a message to fit. If it doesn't make sense to you, then it's not for you. For others of you, this is to do with work. Advancement that was blocked before for whatever reason, or you getting a job in the first place. There were a lot of blockages, 7 of Wands, one after the other, to the point where you felt like I should just give up. Out of the blue, there's communication. This could also be a restructuring that is happening within the company that now allows you to apply for this, or now gives you what you've applied for a while ago. Or this is something that you've applied for and you haven't heard back in ages. And here it is finally, right? And you're going to have to hit the ground running with this opportunity. Okay? So it can be a new job for some. It can be that advancement opportunity that you applied for or tried to go for and you were told you couldn't, or it was blocked, or you just didn't hear back for whatever reason. Here it is. It's being granted to you now. Okay? Same thing with changing where you live, or do you know what I mean? So take the message as it makes sense to you. I'm just reading the energy and trying to give examples. Something that was blocked for whatever reason is now, that block is lifted as a result of some sort of an awakening, some sort of a realization, or some sort of a truth being spoken. And it's like full speed ahead. Okay? So let's pull some clarifiers here for Pisces for the week ahead. 7 of Wands. Yeah, the Hierophant. A commitment was blocked. And it can be romantic, but it could also be to do with work with the Hierophant, right? Climbing the ladder, right? Corporate jobs, big companies here, type energy. To do with schooling, education as well. There was blockages there. Now for some of you, that could be the blockage in itself. There was a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy. Everything takes time in big corporations. Okay. For those of you, the blockage of you getting back together with someone else was that they were already with someone else, or you were already with someone else, and there was already a commitment that was blocking this from being possible. And I feel like that is being lifted. Okay, so I don't know if a commitment is ending on their part or your part, and right away you hear from them, they want to tell you what happened, they want to tell you, do you know what I mean? Okay. Awakening as the challenge. Yeah, the Tower. This is coming out of nowhere. It'll take you for a loop, okay? It will knock you back a little bit. You'll be like, is this even happening? Is this real? Is this true? Call me with your video camera on. I want to see your face when you say these things to make sure that it's you saying them. Type energy, okay? Or, again, someone just showing up at your door. It's something that you think is unconceivable. You think it's just not possible, okay? There is a destructuring of a former corporate structure or commitment. There is a destructuring, a falling apart that frees someone to move on, to move up, to move forward, or to move back to you. Does that make sense? The Knight of Inspiration as the outcome, the 7 of Swords. There has been a lot of strategizing around this. Okay, there's been a lot of strategizing. For those of you where you have a history, this is that energy of doubting it, okay? Whether you have a history with someone, or it's just because that it's taken so long and you've received different versions of the truth, Like this time it's not happening because of this. This time it's not happening because of that. This is the energy of you doubting it. Okay? And the Seven of Swords is, and the Knight of Wands there is saying, telling someone, prove it. Prove it. If you prove it, I'll believe it. That means put it down on paper. Give me a contract. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't believe in words anymore. I've heard all the words. Put it down on paper. You give me that contract, I'll look at it and yeah, okay, we can do this. Prove it as in, like I said, that's a specific example, right? Call me with your video camera on. If you're at a distance, I want to see your face when you say these things. Or someone showing up at your door, right? And you're like, okay, okay. I don't know what to do with this, but clearly you've really thought about this, and here you are. Okay, let me figure out how I feel about that. It just completely takes you by surprise. One more time here. Seven of Wands with the Hierophant. Yeah, Nine of Swords. You have been in your head about this for forever. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of doubt, because there's a lot of history here, or because you put a lot on this, right? There was a lot riding on it, and the longer it took to come together, the more disillusioned you got. Okay. And yeah, like I say, words, but you never saw those words lead to anything. And that's why you doubt it. Judgment with the Tower as a challenge. The Emperor. Yeah, I feel like someone has elevated. Okay, so if you were dealing with someone who was immature in the past, they've really grown up. This is someone who is focused. This is someone who knows exactly what they want to do. This is someone who has thought things through. They have a plan, right? It's not someone doing things on the spur of the moment. It's not someone that's emotional and they're gonna, tomorrow they feel differently so they take off, or whatever the case may be. This is someone who is ready to do the right thing, who's ready to put in the work. Okay? For others of you, this was the issue. A manager was holding you back. And that's why this destructuring is happening. That allows you to move up, right? A manager was holding you back, or just authority, right? Execs in general, or the structure itself, the structure of the corporation, or the structure of the team even, where they were like, we have no more roles open. We have to create other roles, right? Or we have to get some people out of these roles because they're not doing it properly and get other people in, right? A destructuring and a restructuring is happening. And the Knight of Wands with the Seven of Swords in the outcome, the Magician. This is negotiation in terms of work and business, anything to do with your money, anything to do with property, assets. This is negotiation. This is sitting down, having a meeting, whether it's in person or video, and negotiating everything. Okay, this is terms, this is expectations, this is salary, this is perks, this is what do you expect from this and what do you expect from that. Okay, type of negotiation. Very successful. Because the Magician with the Seven of Swords is strategizing. Okay, strategizing. For others of you, the Magician with the Seven of Swords is cautioning you. And the Knight of Wands, okay? This is in the case of someone being immature. This is telling you, get them to prove it, okay? Because I looked under the Two of Cups and we have the Devil. This could be where someone is, and the Strength card under that, I feel like someone's really trying to do the right thing this time. There's still temptation, there's still some unhealthy habits that are influencing their decision or this connection. There's still some level of toxicity there, but I feel like with the Strength card under the Devil, they're aware. Okay, they're aware of their own patterns and they're trying to keep them in check. They're trying to keep them from ruling their decisions. This is someone who has seen their own bad habits, they're acknowledging them, and they're trying to work on them. I do feel like this is someone who's trying to mature, trying to do the right thing, trying to be the better person that they can be, right? So this is telling you, be honest, be completely honest with this person. If this isn't something you want, if they can't convince you, if you don't want to give them another chance, then this is telling you to be honest with them. Don't play games. For others of you, if you see them where they're not sure of their communication and they may kind of fall into old habits of how they communicated, with subtleties and half-truths, and I'm not necessarily getting a malicious energy. It's someone who doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so they're not going to tell you the truth. Does that make sense? They think that's the best option. And this is telling you, to call them out on it. Don't do that. You did that before, and look what it got us. Okay? Speak your truth. Say it as it is, and we can take it from there. All right? This is part of that test. Prove it to me. Prove to me you're different. Why are you trying to do the same old, and you're telling me you're different, and that's not going to work? Right? Because I feel like this person is a little bit intimidated. That's why with Seven of Swords they're overthinking it. And from the outside looking in, overthinking looks like someone strategizing and plotting something. Does that make sense? So that's something that may be going on here. Be aware of it, call it out, see what happens. Okay? Because I do feel like with the Devil, I like that I have the Strength card, 2 of Cups and the Devil and the Strength card after that. I like that because that tells me this is someone trying to control their demons. This is someone trying to control their bad habits. This is someone trying to do better things, healthier things, right? Communicate in a more healthy way, behave in a more healthy way, not fall back into the pattern, not fall back into the toxic. Does that make sense? And I also feel 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords, this person is in their head because they're afraid that you're not going to hear them out. They're afraid that you're not going to give them a chance. They're afraid. They're intimidated, okay? So this just tells you, okay, be direct, be open, be honest in your communication. Call out anything that needs to be called out, not from a confrontational standpoint, but from the standpoint of we're both adults, or we've both learned our lessons, or we're both different now. So how about we just say it as it is and see what happens, and we can take it from there. Let's not do what we've done before. Does that make sense? So let's see, advice for Pisces. And if this is about business negotiations, this is telling you to hold your ground. Ask for the money you want. That's the Devil energy. Ask for the money you want. Ask for the position. Ask for the contract. Ask for the perks. Strength card. You have a strong position to do so. Okay? Don't be intimidated. Don't overthink it. Okay? They will give you what you're asking for. They will match your offer or your request. Does that make sense? Here it is. Look, bottom of the deck. Nightmare, psychic protection, shield, bad dreams. This is that 9 of Swords energy. There's a lot of mental conflict around the situation. You're in your head a lot. This other person's in their head a lot. There's been a lot of words said to the point where you're just not going to trust anything, right? A little bit of paranoia, a little bit of cynicism, right? Sarcasm in communication. You need to look at that. You need to temper that, okay? That's the Devil energy. Don't let it rule you. Redemption. You can't make this stuff up. Absolution, forgiveness, penance. Yeah, this is someone coming in, trying to do the right thing by you, for you. Someone trying to show you that, they want to repent. They want to have your forgiveness and earn it, not just, saying the words, going through the motions. This is someone who's ready. If you give them a chance, they're ready to put in the work to prove to you whatever it is that they're saying to you, okay, to prove that that's the truth. And for others of you, this is where, again, something that you kind of gave up hope on, whether it's to do with your work or your money or whatever. You kind of gave up hope on it. You may have felt hurt or betrayed by the sequence of events that's happened connected to that. 7 of Wands, you might have told, no, this isn't for you, sorry, right? Or you don't qualify for this, kind of bluntly, so it kind of hurt your feelings, and you're thinking that's not right. I do the job anyway, right? I already do that job. Why are you telling me I don't qualify for it, right? This is someone playing on technicalities and stuff like that, and it kind of hurt your feelings because there's a level of betrayal there. And this is where the company itself, or that manager, or that team, or group of people, or whatever, whoever it is that blocked you previously, okay, this is about their making amends or making it right, okay? Not necessarily the personal or the emotional side of it, okay, because in a corporate world you don't think in those terms, but this is where someone's stepping in to say, no, Pisces does deserve that, okay, let's make it right. And enlightenment, yeah, inspiration, epiphany, innovation. And look, you have 20 and 2, so definitely a focus on partnerships here, business or romantic. This is clarity. This is truth being spoken. This is epiphany, judgment card energy in your spread as well. The truth is being spoken, okay? The only thing holding you back is the fear. I don't want same old to happen. I'm afraid to trust this again. I'm afraid to get my hopes up again. 9 of Swords, the devil energy, don't let that rule you. 7 of Swords, don't let that cause you to sabotage an opportunity. Because whatever is being said is the truth. Okay? If this is the sequence of events you've been dealing with, now whatever is being said is the truth. Okay? So, you can ask someone to prove it, but don't be mean. Don't be cynical about it. Okay? There's no reason for that. Okay? It's just sabotage. Self-sabotage. Because it only hurts yourself at the end of the day, because it'll cost you a really good opportunity. Okay? So I'll leave that with you. You'll do what you will. But I hope the readings help. And I'm looking forward to your feedback. Okay? Let me know in the comments below what this is about for you and how it's playing out. And I hope the reading helps you. Okay? It looks amazing. So mind that self-talk, that sabotage energy. Okay? So I'll leave it there. Have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.